So clearly a theme for Smart Beavis and Butthead. But what about the object of their lust, Serena? Does she have her own music?
Absolutely, yeah. I wrote a love theme, and I was actually a bit nervous to play it for Mike because I thought maybe I had gotten a little too serious with the whole thing, but he really liked it because I think that what is important here is if you can actually start to feel something for these two, and for Beavis, who really does fall in love, as as absurd as that is as an idea, if we can give him that in his psyche, he has room for this. In his, that's what happens, And so I wanted to invest the viewer to get them engaged into that he's really not, he's really in love as best he can be for who he is.
What about for NASA and the entire space program thing? Did there need to be different music or a different approach musically to that stuff?
It was more of a tone, I think. Perhaps a palette, a way of working with horns and having sort of a militaristic type of sound with. I would say it's more. I'm more thinking in a tone than a strict theme there, texturally.
When you do a science fiction picture like this, and you've done some, do you have in mind a certain style of sort of symphonic writing? And if so, do you need to consciously stay away from what Williams did in Star Wars and that kind of tradition?
It's a good question. I mean, you want to um, orchestrate as have the type of detail that that Williams's detail is just so unbelievable. And every time I look at it, I'm just constantly amazed. Oh my goodness, how is there so much detail here? And you go in another layer and there's still another layer and there's still another layer. It just never ceases to amaze me. But I like to listen to, in this situation, a lot of composers like Holst. I will go around and listen to, watch some old science fiction films. I'm trying to think of, obviously some great James Horner things of uh, uh, science of space movies and things like that. So I think there's a huge, period of time with a lot of different music that reflects this feeling of this mood. And where it really stems from, I'm trying to think it. Obviously horns play a big part of the tone, and trumpet too. I really tried to make across the film is to there's quite a few solos in the score where for instance, the shot, so I'm diverging a little bit, but the shot of Earth when they're looking out from the space shuttle, I have a cello solo. The love theme is about flute. The pre-launch is a trumpet solo. Then this pre-disaster is horns. The Smart Beavis and Butthead, we have the theremin solos. And so you kind of, I've tried to break it up so that everyone had their moment. Every part of the orchestra had a moment in the sun across the score. And to really think of it that way, I sort of mapped that out in my head to make it like a piece, the whole thing.